Alright, this is our Under the Con, which is our wrap-up where we look at exclusive swag, things we pick up at a show for D23 Expo. And that gives us kind of an idea of some of the things to expect from the show in future years and kind of a wrap-up of what we saw there this year. So to start out real quick, in terms of merchandise and exclusives, one thing to know about D23 Expo is they really keep a handle on their exclusives. They run the Disney store, the Magic store, the Dream store, and then also Mickey of Glendale's, which is the store for Imagineering type products. We did not pick up a ton of those types of items because they are super, super busy. So we did go by Mickey of Glendale's, which is the Imagineering store at the end, and picked up a couple of their exclusive Imagineer Vinylmations. We stuck a little bit more to the easier things. There wasn't anything that we needed so badly in terms of the exclusives, and so we didn't fight that, but tons of prints, tons of buttons, things like that. Picked up some Star Tour buttons, things like that. But we stuck a little bit more to the regular vendor area, and one of the things that we saw this year was a lot more Marvel and Star Wars, which is to be expected with them kind of being in full swing now with that. And they were good prices. We picked this up for $5. It's not a difficult to find figure, but half the price it would have been at Target. And Professor X and a AIM Soldier, all for prices lower than we've seen really at any of the other shows we've been to. So we had kind of back-to-back good weeks there with some great stuff at Stockton Con, and then surprisingly at D23. And then also the very elusive Han Solo and Carbonite Vinylmation, again, going on eBay, $80, $90. We picked it up for $65. So found some good dealers in the exhibit hall, which we were surprised. Lots of Marvel and Star Wars, which we were surprised, not that we were surprised it was there, but surprised how much it was there. And so turning to that, the swag. Lots of easy to grab freebies, lightsabers and foam swords and chapsticks and stuff for Avengers Assemble. Bags were really easy to get. We got tons of these bags, which are kind of like the Walking Dead bags from a year ago at Comic-Con that fit comics perfectly, so we'll be using those at the cons for the next year. This one doesn't fit them quite as well, but easy, nice bag to grab. And so those were the easy things, but definitely something that we're seeing as a trend in the conventions. San Diego Comic-Con definitely fit this description, and then going to D23 Expo, which is having to work a little bit harder and be a little bit smarter about the swag and looking for in different ways. And so one of those ways is panels. Now, it was really weak at Comic-Con, but we had different situation at D23 Expo. And so one of the big items we picked up was the Sorcerer Mickey for the new Disney Infinity character. They're releasing him in January. They gave 5,000 of them out in these special little bags. And so they hit eBay really quick and hard for $100 or so a piece. And it was just an easy item at the end of a very cool panel to get. During the film panel, Maleficent they had, and they gave out the hats for her. And then for the new Saving Mr. Banks, Mary Poppins poster. And so just some kind of nicer items, like this is actually a fairly decent poster to frame and things like that. The hat's not such a big deal, but the Infinity. There were some shirts, things like that. And so in general, they did some good stuff with their panels, and we were kind of surprised in some of the things we found there. To kind of move, though, to working a little bit harder, and we definitely saw this at Comic-Con, but even more so at D23, is the best stuff in this era that we're in conventions. You have to be smart and kind of look at things ahead of time, know who to follow on Twitter, read PRs and things like that. And so going in, we knew some things. So one, for example, there was a thing about asking for something weird from Marvel. And so this is some poster for a future Marvel-Disney collaboration comic. Just a little thing, but kind of a fun little game. It was hidden under a counter. You had to go ask for something weird there. Asimo, the Honda robot, had a coin. You had to go and like something on Facebook and go over there and show them. They'd give you the coins. Really cool little Innoventions type looking coin. Following Mice Chat, which is a great Disney podcast. They had a thing, the first 5 people over, and so we picked up this little Tinkerbell bag from them for going over to their booth and telling them we saw on Twitter and that Mice Chat rocks. And then a really cool one, the new Marvel Vinylmation. They're going to be coming out in October. They had the art cards, and so we were able to find these at the back of the Dream Store, just somebody kind of holding them like this in a box and giving them out. And so we went in the back, got them, and then the artist showed up, and we were able to get a bunch of them autographed. And so that was a really cool little find, and kind of a sneaky little find that was hidden away. The big find of the thing was playing the Optimus game. And so the Optimus game, I'm not going to go into all that. You can search our YouTube and find out all kinds of stuff about it, or go to InsideTheMagic.com and find out all kinds of stuff about it. But it's an alternate reality game, this very elaborate kind of game. But it was fun because a lot of it was going on at the Expo. So we got these really cool kind of Disney maps that were part of the game. These cards that were used for part of the puzzle. Esmeralda inside Disneyland was giving out a special card. So All of these things are very limited, which is cool. We're talking in most cases probably hundreds rather than thousands because it was a really small played game. At the end of the game, it concluded we got these limited edition prints for Carousel of Progress and Mr. Lincoln, and most exclusively the Tomorrowland pin, which fit with the Optimus game. So it was a really fun game and a really fun thing to do, but you had to know ahead of time to be playing it and to find all of these things. And again, a lot of them cool pieces of swag, they're limited to the hundreds rather than the thousands or millions in many cases. So the era we're entering just in conventions across the board is having to be smarter about swag. In the old days of just big bins of things and easy to get isn't quite as much happening, and oftentimes it ends up being, junk like this when it is, which it is what it is. So in general, we really enjoyed D23 Expo. It took a big step up. It became kind of a big boy or big girl con this year where it really stepped up swag. Exclusives, very hardcore Disney stuff, which we love Disney, but there wasn't anything that we wanted to work that hard like we do at a Comic-Con for Hasbro or things like that, but really enjoyed it. Lots of great things. There's some stuff to expect to get around when you come there. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up there. We'll have more coverage of D23 Expo on our YouTube channel and at confluencecovers.com, and so keep checking back. Until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.